Hello, my name is Crystal McKinney, and we will be going over instructional design in this professional development course. Within Module 1, we will be speaking about designing for success. The objectives include defining instructional design, identifying all steps in the ADDIE process, constructing a course design while using the ADDIE process, and assessing already developed classes for flaws in their design. The definition of instructional design is the creation of learning experiences and materials in a manner that results in the acquisition and application of knowledge and skills. And this is according to td.org. ADDIE is a 5-step system that is an acronym. So it stands for Analyze, Design, Develop, Implement, and Evaluate. This is going to be our basis for instructional design. According to Hess and Green 2016, the ADDIE process is the most used within instructional design. Within the concept of the ADDIE model, it considers what we know and what we use today and gives us what is needed to instruct the classes and what is needed to create a learning environment to achieve a desired outcome. And this is according to Juchi et al. 2021. The first step in the ADDIE process is analyze. According to instructionaldesign.org, a needs assessment must be conducted. We need to identify a problem, so what needs to be improved within the course. A goal will be set. We will identify the learner's skills and their knowledge and identify the environment in which the course will be taught. Step 2 will be design. According to Reeser and Dempsey 2018, design includes fabricating objectives that can be assessed later to ensure instruction was helpful. Also, we can create activities that aid in learning, and we will define the type of learning. Step 3 in the ADDIE process is development. It includes gathering materials for the instruction, combining elements from the design phase, and including some sort of technology within. And this is according to instructionaldesign.org 2022 and Reeser and Dempsey 2018. Implementation is the 4th step in the ADDIE process. According to Reeser and Dempsey 2018, delivering instruction in the previously established environment. So we will decide where our course will be taught and then we will implement it. Now, the instructor should cover course content, any learning outcomes, how it will be delivered, and any testing processes that will occur. And this is according to instructionaldesign.org 2022. The 5th and final step in the ADDIE process is evaluation, which has 2 parts. There is formative, which collects the data to figure if any kind of revisions in the instruction should be made, and summative, which is collecting the data to figure if the instruction was effective and worthy. According to Reeser and Dempsey 2018, if there needs to be any revisions, they are completed after a thorough evaluation. Now that we have covered all the course content, it's time for a checkup. So true or false, ADDIE's acronyms are Analyze, Design, Develop, implement, and evaluate. If you chose true, you are correct. Checkup number 2, true or false. In the implementation stage, materials are gathered for instruction. And this is false. This is going to be done in the developmental stage. Next checkup question, true or false. Setting a goal is completed in the analyze phase. And this is true. Last checkup question, true or false. Fabricating objectives are done in the developmental phase. And this is false. This is going to be done in the design phase. Thank you for joining me for Module 1. Please proceed to Module 2. Module 2 is going to be based on instructional interaction. So the instructor's interaction with the learner. The course objectives listed here, the learner will be able to summarize the basis for constructivism, create an effective learning environment using constructivism, describe the roles of the instructor and the learner. According to Reeser and Dempsey 2018, instruction is not so much done to learners, rather it engages learners in a process of inquiry and meaningful activity. So we're not just speaking at our learners and expecting them to absorb the information. We will speak the content and engage them in certain activities that will require their minds to ask questions and answer them. The basis for using constructivism, according to Reeser and Dempsey 2018, knowledge is gained through experience. So as we experience and interact with the outside environment or the environment around us, we are constantly learning in an active way. Humans learn through problem solving. So problems may arise either on their own or in a classroom, which promotes learning by solving the problem. And finally, learning can be completed in a social environment. So learning can be a social activity which involves working together with others by negotiating and participating in community practices. Using constructivism, the problem, according to Reeser and Dempsey 2018, design will be centered around a singular problem or group of smaller problems. And these problems presented should be closely related to real life situation as close as possible. They should be complicated, having several elements, and they may lead to multiple resolutions. The skills obtained by the individual will be linked to a greater goal. As far as the environment is concerned, when using constructivism, the learner should have access to the tools needed to learn in a lifelike environment. So we're going to give them the tools needed in real world situations to prepare them for their careers out in the real world. We will provide opportunities and give feedback and show lifelike consequences. So if our students are doing something that is incorrect, then there will be consequences for their incorrectness. The learner's role in constructivism, according to Reeser and Dempsey 2018, we want to encourage the learner to make their work their own. So we're going to make the problems relevant, and we're going to lead them on a path to their interests, and this is going to encourage their learner to make the work their own. We are going to hold learners accountable. This is by making them responsible for what they will learn. It's not going to be in the instructor's hand, it's going to be in the student's hand. It's going to be their responsibility to engage themselves in the learning process. We're also going to encourage community. We're going to give some opportunities for communication and collaboration and interaction, since learning is a community process. The learner should look back on the knowledge obtained. So once the learner has all of the information, we're going to encourage them to reflect on that information of what they learned. The instructor's role in constructivism, according to Reiser and Dempsey 2018, we are going to lead the learner from the sidelines. We are going to let them learn themselves instead of taking over. We're going to let them solve problems in their own time and be patient as much as we can. In Reiser and Dempsey, they emphasize guidance. Okay, they quote unquote guide on the side rather than quote unquote sage on the stage. So we're going to let the learner lead their own way in their learning processes, especially when it comes to solving problems. We are going to keep the learner engaged. So we need to engage the students rather than speak at the students and just give them the information. We're going to recognize the learner's previous knowledge and build upon their experience. They have already gained some knowledge in the past, so we're going to use that knowledge to create a bigger base and give them the knowledge they need to move on into their careers. Now that we've been through our content, let's do a checkup. When creating a problem, it is best to A, link them to a greater goal, B, center the problem around the greater goal, C, closely relate them to theory only, D, make them simple to solve. If you answered A, you are correct. Checkup 2, the instructor's role is to A, lead the learner from the sidelines, B, keep the learner engaged, C, recognize the learner's previous knowledge and build upon their experience, or D, all of the above. If you answer D, all of the above, you are correct. The last checkup, the learner's role is to A, hold learners accountable, B, encourage reflection, C, encourage them to work alone, or D, A and B only. If you choose A and B only, you are correct. I do appreciate your time and attention. Here are all the references used within Module 1 and Module 2.